All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. Pastor Dowell here. Hey, I want to make a video here this morning speaking to you about saving face. Saving face. There are things in life that your cultural upbringing, your churches, your preachers, your teachers, your grandfathers, your mothers, grandmothers, cultural environment, I don't care what it is. There are things that people have adopted in their lives. For instance, if you go to one assembly or one church, and then you go to another church, you notice that they have differences in beliefs. And sooner or later, you'll get one preacher that will challenge the other preacher based on their beliefs. And if they're really confident in their doctrine, they may or may not take up the offer. I have a couple of things out here that I've actually put out challenges. Now listen, when I put out challenges concerning debate, that's because someone has got out there and said something so outlandish and just flat out have lied against the book. I usually contact them and tell them I'll debate them. And then, of course, after they go watch my channel and see a couple of debates that I've had, I'm going to try my best to pick back up where I left off. A call came in and I didn't put my phone on airplane mode. But nevertheless, I have a couple of challenges out here. And you have to understand, when I put challenges out here with these preachers and stuff, that's because I've heard something so dang outlandish, so false, so phony, that I want to see if these men have any integrity whatsoever at all, that they really truly will stand on what they believe. Now, I understand some people will call me a big fish in a pond. I don't think I'm a big fish in a pond, but I do have credentials. I do have an assembly that I pastor, and they're in multiple states. I just have to be the senior pastor over them. I have been shepherding the flock for over 30-something years. I'm very well versed in the book in itself. My name is pretty much well known, be it good or bad, whatever people choose to do with it, makes no difference to me. I know the integrity of my own heart, but hallelujah. And so, you know, just because I get somebody here that's got like 5 subscribers or 2 subscribers or whatever it is, or 1,000 or 50,000 subscribers, I'm not going to be sitting up there chasing after people who have a little wild hair up under their rear end. They think they got something. No, you need to come with some credentials. Like, you need to be a shepherd over church. You need to have a degree. Now, I don't have a theologian degree because I think that's one of the biggest mistakes, because if you go look at some of the videos where I've debated people that have theological degrees, they probably need to go give them things back, and they need to burn that college down and start all over again, because it's pretty bad. But when I challenge people on these subjects right here, I've found out too many times, more often than not, that these people, they it's remarkable. They literally don't know what they're talking about. And if it's something personally that they have preached and they have stood on and they have beat that pulpit and beat that drum and all this other stuff, and they're so confident in it, when you get somebody like me coming and challenge a narrative, they're not going to take that debate, because they have already done put themselves out there so far that it's easier for them to save face than to admit that they're wrong. They will never admit that they're wrong, even though they are wrong. And they don't want the exposure of somebody exposing them for what's being wrong. You know, I tell people all the time, you believe I'm so wrong about something, then, hey, you know the deal. Contact me. Contact me and let's get it going. But it's not going to be no behind the video camera over YouTube and stuff. It's going to be, I like doing stuff in person, professional, moderated. That's when the real impact is, when you're sitting right across from somebody. And let's let every man be a liar and let y'all be the truth. And I've seen it. I've seen some people that no matter what amount of truth you bring, they're not changing. They're simply not changing. They're not going to change. They ain't going to change, because it will blow up their ministry. It will blow up their congregation. If they've been teaching something that has impacted people so long, all of their lives, only found out they're wrong. Like, for instance, there's a false doctrine out there called when you get married, you can never divorce. And if you get divorced, you have to remain unmarried or either go back and be remarried to the person that you divorced. Now, that is a false doctrine. That is a lie from the pit of hell. What if that person goes out here and after you divorce them, they lay with somebody else? Their doctrine says you need to take them back because you can't be remarried again. That's nonsensical. It makes no sense. Matter of fact, what you're doing, you're actually transgressing the actual law that tells us that that's sin. Because the book clearly says you can't go back to that land because it's been defiled. That's what it says. And mind you, understand the accountability of stuff that we're accountable for, especially when we learn something, we know it. But these false doctrines have got people in bondage. You got people out there that believe this stuff, and they'll never, ever, ever have the joy of a good companion or a husband or wife, and be able to have children because they're bound by religious doctrine. Now, a man can go out and get an additional wife, and he's committed no adultery. He's committed zero adultery whatsoever at all. He don't have to go out, and if that woman left him or something, he's committed no sin. Matter of fact, you can have 2, 3, or 4 of them. Now, I know that the law of this land says one thing, but I don't think y'all even understand the law of this land. See, there was a Chief Justice, I think it's Roberts, that he made a writ on this. And what people are afraid of in the United States of America is they're afraid of biblical marriage getting out, especially going to the Supreme Court. Because look how many cases there's been. Because they know they would have to turn around and give the same rights to these marriages as they do with homosexuality that they legalized in 2015. And we all know that that's an abomination according to the word. And the people that participate in that lifestyle according to the Bible, they're going to burn. It's not even open for discussion. But to sit up there and tell a man that he is limited to one woman and that's it, no matter how much adultery she has committed, because adultery is defined by the woman, and he has to go back to that defiled land, is to actually do and to make shipwreck of the word in itself. And there's a lot of churches out there like that. Geno Jennings Church is one of them like that, full of this false doctrine. People sitting up there in that church, man, one man, one woman. Where does it say that at? Where does it say that at? Where? Believe me, I know what Genesis 2:24 says, but what these people are purporting and what they're saying, somebody is lying, and they're lying greatly. I'm telling you that right now. Dang. They're lying greatly, big time. And I just hate it to see so many people sitting up here in life, spending their life burning, waiting on a ship to come in. It ain't never coming in because these people done sailed. They done moved on. All because their false teaching and doctrine means more to them than the truth. And that's not only that, that's many other things. I mean, I'm sure that none of us have it all right, but you would think if you have the spirit of truth that people would do everything they can to actually exercise the truth, to investigate the truth, to do their due diligence, to see what that truth is so that the people can be free. But again, after you done went out there so many years and stuff, most people are so full of pride, there's no way they're going to change courses. There's no way they're going to change what they're doing. They're just simply not going to do it. Because saving face, which is a high commodity nowadays, it means more to them, and preserving their pride and teaching their false doctrine than to tell the people the truth who are under such bondages. I know, I got people blowing up my phone asking me about divorce, remarriage all the time now. And you have to understand, a lot of you out there need to comprehend this. There's a lot of things you just simply are not going to get free from. There's a lot of things you simply are never, ever, ever, ever going to get free of until you actually put distance between you and those false teachings. And you just ain't going to see clearly from there. Prove everything, try everything, test everything. You need to do that. You really, truly need to do that. Because if you don't, man, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad for you in life in itself. Truth always sets free. The lie always binds. And just because somebody screams and hollers, that doesn't make it the truth. You got to do your due diligence and do some serious investigation on what that truth is. So, hey, be diligent. Your devil, that devil is always around you. He's always seeking whom he may devour. And that's just a fact. So you just heard the truth, and the truth straightway. Discern who is trying to save face and who isn't.